Hello and welcome! Once Up a Zeppelin was a kind of interesting episode. We can first see that Twilight has been overworking with her princess duties when she received a letter from her parents that they are going on vacation. But what else can I say about this episode? Well, this was actually the first time we could see a Zeppelin in the episode, but also to see one of the characters we haven't seen uh, from earlier season, and it was Iron Will, the Minotaur. Iron Will, well, he was kind of an interesting character, but at the same time as a good one. As I would say, if he classifies as a villain or a neutral, so I don't know. But Iron Will made this episode more kind of interesting. But see, the Twilight was surprised that the crews was focused to spend an entire day with the princesses. What else can I but say that I can understand that Twilight in the end was quite, well, disappointed to have not could spend any moment with her family during this vacation. Even she had to spend an entire day with one particular pony, Star Tracker, and entertain the other ponies with like racing or something. What else can I then say? I do understand that Twilight felt disappointed and even feeling frustrated that she found out it was Iron Will who sent this application to this free vacation to her parents. And even he said that there were no refund, and well, since they made a deal for that he will let her family be for themselves to enjoy their vacation as long as she entertained the rest of the crew and the other ponies on board. And at first she had no problem with it. But since she couldn't spend any moment with her family, especially when her mother was in this, well, in a barrel over a waterfall. But even we could see one of the lovely characters in this episode, Flurry Heart. Since Flurry Heart was introduced in the 6th season, we actually got the chance to see her develop as a character in this series, in this episode, that we could spend some more time with other foals, which is actually quite something new. We haven't seen that before, since there are not much babies in the Crystal Empire we haven't seen. So, yeah. But most of this episode is focused that Twilight is focused on to entertain the other ponies on board. Even she's got frustrated to not spend any time with her family. Even Spike, who is remained in Ponyville in the castle to take care of her duties. Since the last episode he was doing that, Princess Spike. I'm hoping that Spike doesn't make any bad make any bad decisions for like the last time. But even to see Twilight's family was enjoying their vacation, even she could not spend any moment with them at all. Since she was so frustrated, and even she was actually looking forward to spend at least some time with the family. But Iron Will make sure that to put her at least another activity after another. So she couldn't spend not as a moment with her family like when she was in a baby day center with Flurry and Cadence. They had only a moment of talking with each other, and she was actually looking forward to see the northern stars with her family. She was then, before that happened, she had to write some autographs to every pony who was on board on their vacations, until the last one was Star Tracker. Then she realized at that time was that the Northern Star was going to appear at when he showed up. And she missed it. And she could see the entire family could see it, but not her. She started to cry for it. And I can understand her frustrations when not be able to see the Northern Star with her family. She tried everything to make it her family to be happy. Even she couldn't spend any moment more than a few minutes with her family. Even just, well, I don't know what to say, but it almost feels like that Iron Will made that like by purpose to make her occupied so her family could make their vacation, but she could not have it. Even that, overall, all of this, Twilight made sure that the rest of the cruise ponies had their great time on board on their vacation, but even make sure that her family had a great time. Even they asked her to stop it, but she wouldn't feel the pride. She wouldn't let her family to get rid of their vacation. She wanted her family to have their vacation, even she had to work, even on an entire cruise. But even on all this, but even to see Iron Will as the cruise captain, before he had his business from to make it confident, to make it strong, will in this will, this seminary programs. But now that's as a cruise captain was so much different the business he has before earlier. And I wonder, will he appear later in season 8 or season 9 or something? But we don't know if it's going to be a season 9 yet. So, but even if he appeared in the next season, we can only wait to see. But even Iron Will, he was just relaxing and was shared on board while his Twilight told her family after she missed the Northern Star that she was frustrated that she wouldn't do anything to her family to make them to have a great time. Even she had to work. Most of her free time on board, she hadn't more than a few moments with her family before she had to go back to spend the time with Star Tracker and the rest of the cruise personnel and ponies. But I just cannot say that to the end of this, Twilight was so frustrated and so heartbroken that she missed the Northern Star that she actually yelled out Iron Will and her family, not directly, but that she had made this to make her. She only wanted her family to be happy on the vacation, even they make her to work, and she couldn't even spend any time with them. If there was my own family and I had to work at the same time, and not only could spend less than a minute or two with my family, I would be the same thing as Twilight. I would be frustrated. Even all this episode was kind of something new. See, a zipline, a new development of the series, because Twilight was so frustrated at that she was actually so angry that Iron will make sure that she had to be entertain every pony on board, even she couldn't spend much time with her family. Because when her family wrote it, Trolley thought they won this free vacation. Most of her family didn't know exactly what they never know exactly what kind of this vacation is supposed to be for. Most of they thought, well, it's free time. But even Cadence and Shining Armor was actually looking forward to some vacation from ruling an entire kingdom. Which I can understand. Ruling an entire empire could be tiring, and even they could be like burned out of energy. So a vacation from time to time could be good for them. But even to see just them as a family with Flurry Heart was actually kind of special. But even we saw Flurry Heart in this episode itself, only for a few scenes back and forward, we could see her as a character developing as a princess. But we can also see some more new locations of Equestria we haven't even seen or heard about. But since Twilight has itself was actually looking forward to spend some vacation time with her family on board this cruise, she was not even prepared for any of this. Not even Cadence or family didn't know exactly either. Since Ira will mention about this free print, since Twilight's mother said that since it's a free vacation, no pony and then spends the time to read this fine print. And if I had to say this, her parents should have read the fine print at first, before signing this paper, and even there was a free vacation. There's always a catch what is some kind of free vacations or any free stuff. Next time, if they had win some sort of like another free vacation or something, a free vacation, or I don't know, makes it they might have to read the fine print first. The next time it could be something else that they could have, I don't know, have to pay extra for something. Even if it says a vacation of free, but something else had to, if they cause any damage, they have to pay for it. That have to be something they should have read first. But overall of this episode, I thought Once Up in a Zeepelin was actually a new kind of different episode, which the writers had actually made and kind of good work with. But yeah, not one of my favorite episodes so far. But I would recommend to anyone to just watch this episode first, what they think about it. You can leave your comment below what you think about this episode. And as always, subscribe, leave a comment, and as always, this is Switch Double over and out.